Good day, Alcorn and surrounding areas. I'm your DJ Emaree, and y'all are tuned into my YouTube channel. This is your daily news brief brought to you by WPRL 91.7 FM. In local news, as the COVID-19 crisis escalated in the nation's capital region, Governor Larry Hogan issued a stay-at-home order to protect public health and safety. The order started Monday, March 30th at 8:00 p.m. It states that no Maryland resident should leave their home unless it is for an essential job or for an essential reason, such as obtaining food or medicine, seeking urgent medical attention, or for any necessary purposes. This order is to be enforced by state and local law enforcement. Knowingly and willfully violating this order is a misdemeanor, and on conviction, offenders may be subject to imprisonment not exceeding 1 year or a fine not exceeding $5,000 or both. In other local news, on Friday, Montgomery County's Chief Health Officer Dr. Travis Gales told Fox 5 the first 3 people to test positive for coronavirus in the state of Maryland have recovered and are able to resume their normal lives. Governor Larry Hogan had announced the 3, a married couple in their 70s and an unrelated woman in her 50s, contracted the virus while traveling on an Egyptian Nile River cruise. This news comes as Montgomery County's leaders encourage people to practice social distancing. Those in need of health guidance can also contact the Montgomery County Department of Disease Control at 240-777-1755 or the Maryland Department of Health Infection Disease Bureau at 410-767-6700. In entertainment news, Prince Charles is opening up about his experience with coronavirus after being diagnosed with the virus last month. The 71-year-old Prince of Wales experienced mild symptoms as a result of the virus, but 7 days after of self-isolation, the next in line to the British throne is feeling better and no longer in isolation. On Wednesday, the father of Prince William and Prince Harry recorded a moving video of himself talking about the ongoing crisis and how people can help. Having recently gone through the process of contracting the virus, luckily with relatively mild symptoms, I now find myself on the other side of the illness, but still in no less a state of social distancing and general isolation, he began. Charles is still separated from his wife Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, who is remaining in isolation through the end of the week despite not being diagnosed with coronavirus herself. In other entertainment news, Rihanna and Jay-Z have each donated $1 million to fight coronavirus. The Diamond singer previously announced her Clara Lionel Foundation, which gives $5 million in grants to people working against the disease on the front line. It has now revealed the additional sum will be made available and also matched by the 99 Problems hitmaker's own Sean Carter Foundation. The $2 million will help support the undocumented workers, imprisoned, elderly, and homeless people, and the children of healthcare workers and first responders in both Los Angeles and New York City. In weather, it is currently 49 degrees here in Waldorf, Maryland. We can expect a high of 56 degrees and a low of 38 degrees later on tonight. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. On April 6, 2020, the Delta Kappa chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated planned to release their new Spring 20 initiates via social media. Some members of this chapter announced this information on Twitter March 29th. Stay tuned for more upcoming events and follow their social media handles at DKAlphas06 on Instagram and Twitter. On March 31st, members of the Alpha Zeta chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated announced they'll be releasing their Spring 20 initiates as well. You will want to follow them on Instagram and Twitter to make sure you stay up to date to know when they're coming. And that handle is at Alpha Zeta chapter. We have now reached the speaking segment of my show. I am DJ Emaree and I am with my guest Terrell. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So I know that you are quarantining.
Indeed.
With your significant other. So can you tell us what that is like?
The quarantine or being stuck with you?
Both.
Well, the quarantine is a little scary, but being with you kind of makes it all worth it.
So why is it scary?
Because you're in a position of not knowing what's going to happen next. So I believe whenever people find themselves in a position of not knowing, it's a bit frightening.
So considering that you never lived with another girl or have been in a predicament like this with another girl, what have you learned throughout this whole experience, even though it's only been about a week?
Although our relationship is strong, I've learned that personal space is important. Patience. So those are some things I learned that is important.
So do you think when young couples are at this point quarantining with their significant other, it is kind of giving them a peek as to what it's like to live with them, or no?
In a sense, yeah.
How?
I mean, because we're together, you know. I mean, you got a sense of real life. You want to talk, you know, if you want to think about it. Yeah, the real life situations, you know, you got to figure out what to eat, how to go get it, you know, who's going to cook.
That's true.
Things like that.
What do you think about couples who are quarantining that are accustomed to working outside of their home environment? Do you think it would be difficult for them because they're not used to being around their spouse 24/7?
Yeah, I believe it's difficult, especially trying to adapt to a home setting rather than a workspace, because most, you know, married couples go off and then come back, look forward to come home, and I guess it's something for them to look forward to. So, but since they don't have that luxury to like go to work and after a long day to relax and come from a work environment, they stay home and having to deal with
their spouse
their spouse.
24/7.
Yeah.
I read in China that there's a spike in the divorce rate at this moment because they were on lockdown for a long period of time. So I guess they're tired of them. They're going to divorce them.
That's crazy.
Thank you for joining my show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you attending.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
This concludes my video segment. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you guys next week on Wednesday at 4.